Hello, it's Tokofaji Mbese. Hope you're having a fantastic day. And today I want to talk about keeping it simple. Yes, keeping it really simple. Sometimes this life can be so complicated and you find out that half of the things you're worrying about you don't even need. Seriously, that you don't need. You know, how long are you going to live? Okay, let's say give or take you live 100 years. Whatever you are sweating about today, is it really important for the 100 years you're going to spend on this earth? You know, I used to live in a 4-bedroom, 3.5 bath, 2-car garage house by myself. By myself. And I just realized that, what am I doing? This is insane. How is it possible that only me, I'm going to sleep in this whole big house? And I was not even happy being there. That's the worst part. I wasn't happy. I had this huge mortgage, this huge debt for a house that I didn't need the space. I was making my own life too complicated. You know, I moved out of that house, I think it was 2013 or 2013. And eventually I spent 2 years in a studio apartment. For those of you who are not in America, you might not know what a studio is, but please go look it up. A studio apartment is not even room and parlor. It is the room and the parlor, they are the same. The only place where there's a door is the bathroom. And every time I look back at such a difference, I wonder where I kept all my stuff. All the stuff that was in the big house. Where did I keep it when I lived in the studio? I realized that I gave so much of it away because I didn't even need any of that to start with. And the 2 years I spent in that studio, I was very happy. You know, you find yourself thinking about things like, oh, what if people come and visit me? Where are they going to sleep? What if people, come and say, have dinner at my house? Where are they going to sit? In the 2 years that I lived in the studio, people actually came to visit me. People actually slept over and we were happy. There was a time my older sister came and my younger sister came and they came with 4 kids. And we stayed in that house for 2 weeks and we were happy. We had the best vacation. I had another time when a friend came with 3 kids. We were happy. My brother came with his wife and 2 kids. And we all stayed in that studio and we were happy. If we stayed in the 3-level, 4-bedroom, 3.5 bath house, we might not even have had time to see ourselves and have conversations with ourselves. And look, when it's all said and done, when I die, I cannot stay in more than a 6x6 place on the ground. I remember going to Lagos when my dad died. And by the time I got there, he had been buried. This man who owned this huge house, as well as other houses, only had a small space in one of the houses. And in fact, he's lucky that he had a space in the house and not a public cemetery. Yeah, there was the option to take him to a public cemetery. Eventually, he's in a 6x6 in the house in Lagos. Everything he had worked for, everything he had sweated for, everything he had bragged about, may God forgive him and may God forgive all of us. It's over. It's done. It's done. In actual fact, when my dad died, he had a deposit on a house he was about to build again in Ijebu-Ode that never came to fruition. We don't even have the deposit of that house back now. So what is it that we're running after? Because eventually, it's not going to benefit you. Whatever you spend your time running after right now, let it be something that will benefit you, especially in the house that you spend the most time in, which is the grave. You know, I read a story this morning about the 3rd Caliph of Islam, Uthman. That Uthman, he was standing by the graveside at some point during his life and he was just crying. And somebody said, why are you crying? You who is doing all these good things, why are you crying? He said, I'm standing looking at the grave because this is where a lot of people, whether you get it right or you get it wrong, this is where you will know. This is that holding point where if you didn't get it right, you're going to know that eternity is going to be bad. So, think about it and prepare for it. that big 25-room mansion, that big, even 6-room mansion that you think you have in Texas, in California, in Maryland, in Lagos, in Lekki, wherever, it's not going to serve you. What is going to serve you are the simple things you do, the lives that you sow into, the charity that you give, the service that you do to your God, to your soul, to humanity. That is what we need to focus time on. And if you look at the people that they are the happiest, you know, one of the people that I really envy a lot is my uncle, Professor Badamasi. I get to his house, very simple. I look at his clothes, very simple. I look at his diet, very simple. Why are we making our lives complicated? Why are we allowing the TV, the adverts, and everything to ruin our day and to ruin our investment? Stop allowing this consumer culture that has consumed the world to consume you. May God bless you, and may God make you make it